Draskyl. Joining me today is a very good friend of mine and also excellent caster, GranDGranT. How you doing, buddy?
And hello. I'm doing great. Just ready to watch our boys Quantic play against, some fellow NEODoters and skill difference.
Yeah, this match has been postponed about a dozen times, but it seems like we're finally going to be able to get it played here.
Yep. Do you think it was worth the wait, or do you think it's going to be as one-sided as most people do?
I think it's going to be one-sided. I mean, not trying to be biased. We both know most of the players in the game, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like everyone in here, I'm pretty sure we know. So I think that Quantic definitely has an edge going into this game, but we'll see. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Draskyl's competitive team win a few games, and if it's anything like his casting, I'm just kidding.
All right,
Do
well,
you,
first
yeah.
couple of bands have gone out here. We're just seeing Lycan and Invoker, nothing really too special, but go ahead. I think you're going to say something.
I was not. I was actually, going to bring up if do you think they're going to ban any of Quantic's, any of Korok. I shouldn't even say Quantic. We'll just call them Korok's
Like
heroes.
Morphling, Riki, Tiny, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely could. I don't know if... Well, never mind, they do have a Chen player. Last at Magic plays Chen. I forgot about that.
And Josh has really been working on it. He wants to work on his jungle heroes, so in a game like this, we might have seen him do something about that.
Yeah, well, the last time I saw Josh's Chen, he lost a 1v3 lane to his Soul Furion when he was Chen.
Easy.
Oh, boy. Well, that's all the flaming I'm going to do for today, but it was
Yeah,
Josh, so I had to do it.
yeah. Also, I don't think I would put Riku, Mario, and Korok's hero. I mean, they're like, it's a hero a lot of teams play. Like, I think Morphling and Tiny, like, nobody really plays him, and the fact that he does every game, kind of classifies him in a different segment. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they are going to take out Morphling, but honestly, Morphling's been played by a lot more than just Quantic.
Well,
Many
yeah,
teams pick
but
him up.
successfully getting like 20-0 scores and successfully carrying team like against EG and such are pretty. It's Korok's here. Back off, jerk.
It is, I think,
I'm
definitely
kidding.
one of the heroes that he's most known for in Dota 2. If not, I think the most. He does play Riki and Tiny too. And
Yeah, he
what game
does.
was it?
The tiny when he was it versus
Was it
Mouse?
Complexity? I think
Which one are you thinking of?
the one where he got the double damager in top and went
I
mid and
think
crit
that
for
was
like.
Mouse, wasn't it, or was it a American team?
I'm gonna find it right
No, you're
now.
right. It was versus Jo. No, I remember it was Jo's AM or TC's AM. I remember it was one of those two, and they were playing AM, and he got two shotted.
Yep, it was. Okay,
Yes,
we're good.
sir. That was something else.
All right, so the last band's going to be Dark Seer. First pick coming out from Skill Difference is going to be Brewmaster, followed by Leshrac from Quantic, and Windrunner. So nothing really crazy yet. But Brewmaster pickup here, I think
I
that hero's been seen like almost every game by North American and European teams who don't see it banned out straight away.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lesh is a way more powerful hero, but I mean, if I just think Lesh is the most powerful hero in the current meta game.
Yeah, he brings pretty much everything you could want to a team. I mean, he has Disable, he has ridiculous amounts of burst damage, he can push, and you build him as like a tanky kind of walk into the enemy team and kill heroes. So he's pretty
Yeah.
amazing, I would say, overall.
And he's one of the few heroes that like you can actually like heroes like Windrunner. You're gonna have the same skill build, kind of a 3-1-1 build to a level 5. On Leshrac, you can go so many different builds, but he's one of the few heroes you can actually do that with.
All right,
I don't know,
so
he's
what do
so
you prefer
versatile.
him as then? Do you like him support, or do you always want him to get farm if you're playing Leshrac?
Lesh, I think it depends what kind of game you're running. The way Quantic runs him it is good. He runs solo, and they have to focus so hard on the tri lane. Lesh is going to get so many free towers early game if the tri lane's dominating, and I kind of like him like that.
Yeah, allowing to get the early levels,
Yeah,
definitely something that we've seen before. Even when Quantic ran him, I think it was Josh who ran him mid against a dual lane. He still did really well that game, and they ended up winning.
he has such long range. It's so helpful.
Yeah, being able to spam lightning is pretty ridiculous for getting creep kills, but picks taking a little bit longer here from skill difference. They've already eaten pretty much all of their bonus time, and they're going to go with Crystal Maiden Tide, so two pretty heavy supports. Tide
Yeah.
Hunter being one of the better known team initiation type heroes, or just overall very annoying to play against, I would say.
Oh, extremely. But also we've been seeing, maybe not even support, we've been seeing him run long suicide lane solo a lot lately for some weird reason.
Quantic likes doing that. They send him like top lane if they're Radiant side with just
Yeah.
boots, and they let him just kind of fend for himself. And I don't know if I like that necessarily. I mean, Tide is one of the fastest base move speed heroes in the game anyway. I don't
Yeah.
even know if you really need to buy boots in that situation, but I don't know if skill difference has the same kind of laning in mind. I think they might just do a tri-lane with the CM and the Tide +1. That's also very strong too, and assuming the Brewmaster is mid, of course.
Yeah, and Crystal Main just a perfect the best dual lane support in the game by far. No one even comes close. So, you already know lane right there, Brewmaster and Crystal Main.
Yep, just waiting on the last of the first picking phase for Quantic here. They currently have Leshrac, Windrunner, and of course skill difference having Brew, CM, and Tide. By the way, this is Quantic versus skill difference for those of you who don't know. We are on a tiny bit of a delay. Not going to say how much. It's not long, though. Just long enough to prevent
And just in case EG
about
Demon's watching, yeah, we got him.
Shout out to the Stream Ghosters. And Enchantress going to be the third pick from Quantic. And I like that quite a bit. Anytime where you have really, really tanky heroes, Enchantress is the kind of jungle that, even in the mid-game, can still be a very dominant force with impetus. It's pretty much a hard counter to heroes with a high base health pool, just because it completely ignores all mitigation entirely and just allows you to take them out before they can be... Well, I shouldn't say that. Before they can actually get their full abilities off.
Yeah, she's a beast. We'll just put it that way. She's literally a beast, like a pretty hot one, too.
Yeah, I think she's like a centaur-ish type creature, I guess. But it's like a deer bottom, right? I mean, I don't know if a centaur is only allowed to be a horse or if it's just all equines. I'm not...
That's true.
Oh,
yeah, so what do you think about the Ogre Magi being added?
All I know is that I'm never going to play it because my multicast luck is the worst ever. But I think you could honestly fit in some lineups.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, they could fit in a Quantic type lineup because they run the 4 Protect 1, and an Ogre late game with the Bloodlust and the disables he puts out is so good. And the 4 Protect 1, it's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, he's just a really strong support because even if he doesn't have any items, he can still give your team carry like a ridiculous amount of endgame damage, and multicasts are still very dangerous throughout the mid game. I mean, you get a couple of them, and you can say, yeah, it's luck-based or whatever, but honestly, I'm pretty sure that some players out there just have that luck and will always multicast you. Because I played against it. It's not fun.
Yep. And his base armor, I think, 6. It's like the highest in the game. It's ridiculous, too.
His strength gain's pretty high, too, if I remember correctly.
I think it's third behind Tree and Centaur in Dota 1.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. But...
Not that I'm a nerd and know that, but yeah.
It's okay, dude. I'm pretty sure I've been playing for quite a while as well. Now we got Sand King, Night Stalker, and Enigma all not going to be seen this game, and the Sand King ban seems a little bit odd to me. Typically, Sand King is pretty much banned if you're only going to take Brood, which I guess is kind of an obvious thing right now if they were going to go for that because Darkseer is already out of the pool, so if Quantic knows that, maybe they'll just ban Brood as their last ban, but who knows. If they are going to be setting up a tri-lane, though, that would kind of free up the top lane to just let Brood be up there, then have the Brewmaster mid with the CM Tide +1 elsewhere. But again, that's kind of just speculation. Otherwise, I'm not sure why they would go for just banning a Sand King straight out like that.
Yeah, he's a great team fight here at Initiator, but just banning him straight up with... It doesn't really look like they have a plan for it. They just didn't want to play versus him, I assume.
All right, well, got the last 4 picks coming out. Venomancer going to be the last ban here from Quantic. And I'm still kind of banking on the same thing for skill difference here. I believe that they're going to go for more of a semi-carry role. I mean, Brewmaster's pretty good in the mid-game, and his early game is strong, but he falls off in the super late. Like, his aspects become much less powerful, and they're not really kind of like the team-dominating force that they are around like the 20 to 25-minute mark when you first hit 16 if you've had a good early game.
Oh, yeah. And if you get that Aghanims, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was a game. I mean, we'll go history time here. It was MYM versus EMG back when Korok, Josh, and Korok last at Magic, and all of them were sponsored by EMG, and they played versus a Panda, and the Fire Panda literally 1v5'd their team in the game, but they still ended up coming back and winning it. It was I was in their Ventro. It was a pretty exciting game. They were just so scared of the Fire Panda, and people don't realize the Fire Panda has 0 armor and I think 800 HP or something ridiculously small.
Yeah, it's really low.
He's like a sniper. He's just a glass cannon. If you can kill him, he's useless.
Well, the one thing that skill difference kind of has going for them is a lot of times you want teams with a lot of spam ability to be able to just get rid of the pandas as fast as you can and force him back into his normal form. But the only 2 spells that they really have, aside from obviously the Leshrac, is Power Shot, and Enchantress doesn't really bring much AoE. This is a situation where I was talking to who was it? I want to say Snoopy because he drafts for AL, and he was talking about how he really likes Death Prophet versus Brewmaster just because the long duration silence and the ability to spam wave when he has his ult on. I mean, it's like a 4-second cooldown on Crypt Swarm.
Yeah.
It's just a really good counter to Brewmaster. But we're going to see Beastmaster instead. So Master versus Master, one of the Brew variety, one of the Beast.
This is going to be a heavy push lineup here for Quantic. They are going to take towers down. If the other team makes one mistake, even at the 2-minute mark, Enchantress will take their tower. I was watching Fnatic versus MTW, and they got one kill on the long lane solo and took a tower down at 1 minute and 40 seconds in. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty fast towers.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain going to be the last pick out here, coming out of skill difference. So I'm assuming that's going to be mid or top. Probably top if they're not going to do 2-1-2, which would be really strange. I mean, I guess they could.
I could see it. Actually.
Their lineup is really open-ended. That's the problem. I mean, they have two
Yeah.
pretty much dedicated supports. If they want to farm the Tide and put him with the CM or something, and then have the Shadow Demon with the Panda or the Brewmaster, just so they can get like the Banish clap off, which would honestly be a pretty sick dual lane. I mean,
Actually,
if you get
I
caught
was
by
thinking
that.
about that. Or I mean, they could just still do the tri-lane with Shadow Demon CM. I can actually see them doing that with
Well,
the
we're gonna
Panda
find out.
CM. Yeah.
They could take a note out of Quantic's book and send a Tide top solo, but I'm not sure
I
if they're
actually
going to go that
think
route.
they might. I think they are actually looking at their lineup now. Cause I guess we're gonna see. What do you think? Are we gonna see? We're gonna probably see Korok's hero now. Who do you think we're gonna see from Quantic?
Well, if the Beastmaster is going to be long lane, and they want to run a push lineup, then I would assume Leshrak's probably going to be top, which would mean they need a mid. So I'm guessing probably Tiny. If they had the opportunity, they could do that.
And they have a lot
They
of
have a
weak
support
heroes on the other
Windrunner,
side.
But
Yeah.
we'll see. They could just as easily pick something like Riki and just have a dual lane mid and babysit him.
We don't see many support Windrunners though, so it'll be interesting.
I've seen like one or two in the last week or so. It's kind of been seen a little bit more than usual, but
I think she really is a good support because she can farm up mid game after having a slow start. She's one of those here. Oh, there you go.
yeah, there's Riki. Okay, so we are going to have the Riki being supported this game. So I assume that means that they're going to do the
Windrunner SA.
yeah. Well, either Windrunner or Leshrac, unless Leshrac is played by Painted Gold, which we'll be able to
I
cuddle
think
lanes
it
much
will
easier
be. Yeah.
when we see who's playing what. So we're going to go ahead and get this screen out of the way. There we go. Now you guys can see everything. Overlay should be down. I just always have to like tunnel vision my XSplit when I do that, just in case I do something stupid.
I love how America finally. I think the teams in general, they're finally going to specific roles. Unlike in Dota 1, like where all the teams are so casual, they just play whoever hero they want. Lately, it's like the Chinese 1 through 5 thing. You know, 1 most farm, 5 least, and they just been sticking to it with Korok carry, Josh on solo, Solera on the long lane, and Last Hit Magic. And it's good to just focus on one aspect.
Yeah, a lot of teams kind of lose sight of what they're really best at and try to think too hard about drafting, and they're like, okay, what can we do to kind of counteract what the other team is doing? But a lot of times, that puts you in a zone where you're not comfortable, and then you end up making silly mistakes.
I think that's why EG lost so many games. They didn't really know who they are, and now that they've rediscovered it per se, they look a lot stronger.
All right, so I apparently did remember to set my camera acceleration. That still seemed a bit fast. Sorry about that, guys. But we're going to go over the players really quickly. For those of you who don't know, we're going to go over Quantic's lineup first. We're going to have Mikey going top on Windrunner. Painicle going to be taking up the reins on Leshrac going towards mid. Last Hit Magic, aka Sorcery, playing Enchantress, likely going to be defensively jungling. We have Korok playing Riki, and finally, rounding out Quantic's lineup, we have Pianist, which is Solara, of course.
What trees did he cut down? I was just looking. His axes are on cooldown, but he didn't cut down the jungle.
Mate, I don't know. I was honestly not watching him.
Neither was I. That's weird.
That's unfortunate. He didn't.
But,
he doesn't have any items either. Did he send them all in the chicken? Yeah, okay, he did.
Yeah, and then But on the other side, we got skill difference. The lesser-known North American team with their captain Dilated Mind going to be playing Tide Hunter, with Sexy with a K, and it's pretty sexy on a Shadow Demon. Misha on a Panda. That's not a girl, if you were wondering. And F4L on Queen of Pain with who's the last guy? Zeb. Zeb on the Crystal Maiden.
I think this game... Oh, go ahead.
No, go.
I was going to say, I think the lanes are going to tell the story of this game. Because honestly, mid-game, Brewmaster is still very hard to take down. If they do go for a farming Tide here, which he's already bought 2 Gauntlets of Strength, so I would assume he is going to be farming. I mean, you don't typically do that as a support role. And that's going to be really tough for even a lineup like Quantic's to deal with. They're going to have to rely on pretty much a fast defusal out of Korok, be able to just smoke up those heroes and just make sure they never get out of a cloud before using any abilities and just pick them off first.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to lanes. I think that's how Quantic likes to play. They like to make sure they win. I think if they win their lanes, they have a really big. They just win the game. While other teams like who is it? MTW really likes to focus on their like mid game kind of team composition. I don't know, just different team stuff.
Watch bottom. Let's see how he does.
Oh, he's throwing the axes right. Are they just getting thrown? Maybe
I
That's what
can't
it
even
looks like.
see them. Like I'm like zooming in. Oh, you know what? He looks like he's hugging the tree. If you zoom in, he's got like one arm halfway around the tree. That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. See, I was right, so I was correct.
That is unfortunate for Solara. That's gonna make laning bottom a lot harder.
Yeah, and it looks like no, but Quap's going. I don't think it will. It's gonna be a Quap solo bottom, so.
Yeah, but a Beastmaster versus a Queen of Pain, the Queen of Pain wins anyway. Like no.
Yeah,
matter
but
where
I
they
think
are.
it's better to not have the trees cut down in that situation, because it's better with her blink. You want to be able to avoid her and oh no, he cut them all
Okay,
down.
yeah, it was midair then. I saw him like kind of lunging for it. I was like, okay,
He
maybe
missed
it's
one.
just-
Yeah, but I honestly think it's better to leave the trees up versus like playing versus a Quap here, but I don't think it really matters that much.
You know what? Before we get the game started, I'm gonna do one thing.
Well, the game's already started, silly.
Well, I mean like actual laning and stuff like that. I just updated the title of the broadcast because you're joining me, buddy. It was the last minute thing.
It's the last.
spur of the
I'm
moment.
always here. I've been wanting to cast for
I
a
had
while.
to
but-
edge your name, man. It didn't feel
guys
right
are
without
jerks.
mentioning you, so I
I
had
know.
to put it in there for everybody. So if
I'm
you refresh
actually-
the page, you'll see it now.
Okay, kind of. I'm looking at sexy, just those little things. Why didn't he? He has 57 gold, but didn't buy another branch. Kind of interesting, but whatever.
I'm not really sure. Maybe
He's gonna
he
get
plans on
magic
buying a
yeah.
wand really early and doesn't want to sell the branch back. Maybe because
True.
if you
You need branches for a wand, don't you?
yeah, you need 3, but sometimes if you don't use all your regen, like if he doesn't use either his tangos or his clarities, then he'll have
True,
to
yeah,
sell a
I've-
branch.
That's true. Or just give them to someone. But yeah,
Yeah, you know, it's possible. So we are going to have a tri-lane farming tide up here, and honestly, this can be pretty powerful against a lineup like Quantic has. If he gets like a fast pipe, he doesn't even need to really go blank necessarily.
Yeah.
Just get tanky.
and
be
it's
able
also
to
good.
just
Yeah,
teamfight.
yeah. And it's going to be really helpful because they're top. The Shadow Demon and CM are going to be able to roam middle a lot more. But Quantic does see. Look at they paused. The ward was already down top lane, so they already know what they're up against, which is really good ward placement by Mikey early.
Yep.
He did get Wind Run first, surprisingly though.
Well, I don't think getting win run first is really that surprising. I mean, we're talking about the difference between having like a 1.5 second disable or something at level 1
True.
and a nuke that does 120 damage, which, yeah, it's okay, but
Yeah, I just thought he was a man. But
if they anticipated the tri lane, then there's even less of a reason for him to get it in this situation. But at the very least, seeing this tri lane top, the only thing that I'm kind of curious about is like, yeah, this tri lane has great kill potential, but it's not the greatest in terms of pushing. Like, how much are they going to be able to capitalize on killing heroes?
That's true. But I mean, any hero can right click a tower. If they kill both heroes top, they're gonna take. Yeah, I know what you're saying though.
All right, well, we're going to see some lane switching already. They're going to have the dual lane from Quantic going bottom, so Korok is making his way down there along with Mikey, who will be playing as support Windrunner.
And if I saw the ward was actually pinged, the one blocking the big neutral camp was pinged by Mikey, I think. So I think they know where both wards are, and they might counter him early. That'll
Yeah.
be big.
That definitely would be very big. Last Hit Magic making his way to offensively jungle bottom, and against the Queen of Pain, I mean, she can't really do too much. The Enchantress is probably not going to be able to get a successful gank off without the help of a net creep, but at the very
Yeah.
least, he can be very, very annoying and apply pressure to this bottom tier tower. And top lane, we're just going to have a Beastmaster taking on a Tide, Crystal Maiden, and Shadow Demon tri-lane. And even as tanky as he is, he can't get caught. If he does, he's probably going to die as soon as the
Definitely.
support's at level 2.
Yep. And he did pull to the small camp. He got 1 or 2 creeps, so it helped pull the creeps back, and he'll get a few creeps, which is always a plus in an aggressive tri-lane like this, getting any experience.
Yep, and he's got 2 clarity, so he can just kind of heal himself back up. And both supports sitting out of experience range right now, too, so maybe they might be looking to roam. I think that's a very effective roaming combination. I mean, Disruption, Nova, even at level 1, that's really tough to get away from, and
Yeah.
we can see Solara being forced back here as well. And I wouldn't expect to really see a kill anywhere necessarily for quite a while. I don't believe that F4L is going to be going down here anytime soon.
I think mid lane's probably the best chance we have if they overcommit on each other. I could see a man fight going down, and that's... But who do you think has... I mean, I know both players, and I think Lesh has the advantage. And, I mean, do you think Brewmaster's going to farm a lot here or no?
Well, Brewmaster is really tough to push out a lane. I mean, he didn't go for the 3 branches bottle fast build, so he might struggle a tiny bit, but he's already at like 400 gold, so once he gets this bottle, I think he'll be okay. Leshrac doesn't have like the early game damage potential to really get him out that fast.
And look at bottom lane, though. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we saw earlier, Last at Magic was chasing down FRL with an Ursa and pretty much made him use all of his tangos, so now they can just pretty much freely beat on this tower. There's not really anything skill difference can do about this.
They're going to get the... Yep. 220. Pretty early tower, always good.
Now this is really weird because now skill difference is rotating mid without a smoke, so Leshrac's pretty much just going to sit here and wonder kind of what's going on, but at the same time, it's
a useless roam. They're wasting time. That's what
well,
they're doing.
they might just be rotating bottom to prevent the tower from dying. That's kind of what I figured when I saw them do that, because if you're going to try a lane, and like in the aggressive lane, like the long lane for you, then your roamers should at least one of them be carrying smoke.
Look at Last Hit Magic might be in a little bit of trouble here. Quap's already moving up. Oh.
Yeah, he got
but
pinged.
Shadow
He could be
Demon
in a
went
bit
the
of
wrong
trouble here.
way. I think Shadow Demon went the wrong way, though, so he'll be fine.
Well, he got Shadow struck. He's just waiting for the rest of his team to help him out, and he will.
Shadow Demon looked at him and just didn't go, oh, man.
There's a disruption onto Windrunner right here. Probably not even going to get Nova, not worth it. Yeah, the wind runs up, and Zeb's not level 2 yet, so no imprisonment.
But, oh, man, now I don't like the switch from skill difference. They're giving Beastmaster's going to get pretty much free farm now, while SA is already level 3, so he can still farm up a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, he'll be able to farm a bit, but honestly, like, this is a triple range tri lane. It's going to be really tough for Korak to do anything. He didn't start with a shield either. Okay, he just bought a poor man's flat out. He's like, after he saw everyone rotate down here, he bought his shield, so now he's going to be able to farm a bit better. But I think Tide, honestly, in this situation is going to come out a bit ahead unless he keeps taking like really bad trades. He almost has his Arcane Boots already, and he's maxing Anchor Smash. So against other melee, it's really tough to deal with that.
Yeah, it is. And looking at the CS charts right now, Dilated Mind's actually on top with 20 and 5 CS.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really too surprising considering the start that he's had, and that's pretty impressive.
I think the worst thing is Korok with 17 CS already in the early game.
Ooh, we got a haste on Leshrac coming in through the top rune. Or top river, I should say.
We also got top Mikey might go down bottom. I don't think he will, no.
Well, they're the easy to pop on Tide top here. Dilated's trying to get away. Josh faking the stun. Oh, he misses the stun. He's not going to be able to get the kill. That was definitely not an ideal placement. He didn't even really juke. He just kind of flat out missed. Now Korok's in a bit of trouble bottom lane too. Forced to run away from this Crystal Maiden and Shadow Demon. Making his way over to the side, and he will be okay as well. And Mikey barely got out of there alive, huh? He got to about 19 HP.
Yeah, Shadow Demon Poison. He got 2 stacks on him, which is pretty good early game. Oh, look at a creep pull by the Last Hit Magic's Centaur.
Yep, stopping the creep pull. Don't want to give any extra experience or gold to the other team. Nice play by him. And he's going to pull it all the way around. Wow. Okay, never mind. One of them lost vision, but it's not really that huge of a deal. Oh, and now Korok's going to get disrupted again. He's going to come out here. Zeb is level 2. Oh, nice smoke, though. Crystal Maiden couldn't even get a spell off, and Korok is going to be able to run away. Foul does not have any mana to blink past his tower. The Shadow Strike went off, but he's going to be just fine. He's got 5 charges on his wand. And bottom lane, F4L was taking quite a bit of damage from that tower.
I think the big thing, when Beastmaster hits 6, he knows he's got to rotate instead of farm, and I think that's when we're going to see our first blood finally. He's almost 6 now.
Yeah, Tide's 6 now as well.
He's got his Arcane Boots now. Still not buying a TP, though. He's just going to farm it up, I guess.
Maybe he heard you. He just ran to the side shop right as he said that, and he just bought a TP. That's funny. Obviously, that's not the case, though, because we're not.
Because we're not Demon, yeah.
Yeah, we're not. We're
streaming on delay, yes, sir.
Heck
and we have a regen bottom. We might have a fight for it, actually. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Last Stand Magic is sitting here. He's at about
No.
half HP. Needs to be careful, though. Zeb's going to run right into the river, into his slow, and Edict from Pain and Gold. Nice vanish from Sexy, trying to get his teammate away. Barely out of the Edict range, but the power shot snipe from Mikey on the high ground near bottom lane picks up the first blood for Windrunner. So that's going to be free kill pretty much for Quantic. And Zeb, I mean, I understand you want to take the regen, but that was a very, very manly move considering you had no vision there. Definitely a risky play.
Yeah. Especially running down through the river instead of back up to your hill. So, yep, early game. I actually expected a few more kills early game with both these teams lineup, but a lot of action, just no kills.
I think that skill difference is going to be the one who wants to push the pace here. I mean, simply put, if heroes like Leshrac and Riki get BKB, then their team becomes infinitely less effective. I mean, they are so heavily comprised around their ultimates and pure magical damage that late game, once Riki gets farm and once Leshrac gets farm, it's going to be really tough for them to cope with that.
Yeah.
But we will have to see. Top lane is still kind of just a farm fest right now. Tide is level 7. He's got his max rank of Anchor Smash. Probably going to be making an urn out of those 2 gauntlets, I would assume. But the only thing is, if you're making an urn, then that means they really want to be trying to fight. And we're going to see, oh, nice shackle right there by Mikey. Only latches him for about a second and a half, though. It is only level 1. Power shot will make contact with Sexy too, but no follow-up, unfortunately, from Quantic. Even though there was a net creep from Last Hit Magic, he was not quite in range.
Yeah.
That could have been very, very good if there was a decent follow-up right there. Now Misha's making his way to the bottom rune spot, doing some pre-runing.
Pre-gaming, yeah. Uh-oh, and Last Hit Magic has the upper ground, saw the panda, so he can go around. Good play there.
Yep, definitely would have been dangerous, and unfortunately for Misha, the rune does spawn top.
Which hurts.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty unfortunate for him. Although Leshrac was not on an empty bottle anyway, even though he was. It still sucks to not be able to get the rune if you're empty. He might just have to do a bit of bottle crowing right here. So free double damage for Leshrac, and now
the top tower.
Some action bottom. Fal's going to take quite a bit of damage, and the power shot runs out of the smoke, but Mikey gets frozen in place in the meantime, and they're going to go ahead and pick up a rebuttal kill. Goes to the Radiant. No one quite getting the last hit from Tide right there.
Tide TP's in late, and that's top tower is definitely going down now. I don't know about that TP from Tide. Interesting.
Well, if he didn't TP, honestly, they could have probably dove him. We're talking Beastmaster Roar with level 4 Edict and a double damage Leshrac. Even with Ravage, I'm not... Well, actually, Leshrac only has 608.
And a Kraken Shell, yeah, you never know.
Could have been one turner, and we're going to see another smoke on a dilated bottom. He does get shackled to a creep. Oh, not a creep. Never mind. That's Shadow Demon.
That's a Sexy.
That is a Sexy. And they're just going to continue pushing top, man. Quantic
top
is just wanting these towers. They're fiending for him.
Yep.
And Misha's going to be forced to defend here, which means that there is currently nobody middle.
Oh, the Roar top, though.
Oh, Roar going into Misha, followed up by the chain stun. Can he get his ultimate off in time? There are a lot of creeps in the Centaur follow-up stun after the Roar and the Split Earth, securing the kill for Quantic. And now this second-tier tower top is going down for sure. Only 1-2 at 9 minutes into the game, but I'm pretty safe to say right now that Quantic is leading this game.
Oh, by far, with the 2 towers down especially. They're putting so much into this bottom lane to stop Korok, they're not worrying about any other lane.
Yeah, that TP bottom from Tide definitely turning out to be a pretty sizable mistake. We're going to see another TP, though. This time he's going to be coming top, maybe looking to try to get a kill here. He only has level 1 Gush, so it's not going to do too much damage. He's actually falling back a bit here. I don't know if he should have ran there. Queen of Pain was definitely there. She could have added a Scream. Might have resulted in a kill on that Beastmaster at the very least, but...
Maybe. I mean, she had no mana. She had, like, I think, yeah. But, I don't know, the movement, I mean, both teams are moving around, but it just seems neither teams are that successful with their movement right now. I think they're just toying around.
Smoke used on Korok, and he gets a Soul Catcher as well, trying to TP out, put the smoke right on top of himself. Zeb gets the freeze, though. Barely gets out of cloud range. Another Soul Catcher does go off, but he blinks to his own teammate, Mikey. Great position in giving his Riki an opportunity to make it out of that fight.
That was huge.
Wow, I can't believe that he did not die there.
And I mean, it's not like this game's slow paced. It's really fast paced. Just nobody's dying for some reason.
This is really strange. I don't typically see support Shadow Demons level poison.
I've seen Fluff and stuff does it, and I don't know. I know they play together with they scrim skill difference a lot, so maybe.
Well, this is the way that I see it is if you're running a lineup like skill differences, you already have abilities like Thunderclap and Nova and Freeze, and Anchor Smash that add a lot of damage. If you just multiply that, it's more than enough to get the kill. Plus, you don't even have to really aim the ability in most cases. And Zeb, in the meantime, is going to get picked off bottom rune spot by a hasted Leshrac. The Edict is just more than enough to completely take him out. No other spells even necessary to be cast, so Leshrac is going to be almost level 9 here. Probably going to be buying a point booster. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, look at the damage Edict does, 2 to 1 unit. 50 times 32 is just ridiculous.
Yep. I mean, it's the highest single target damage spell in the game. Yep. That's not an ultimate, pretty much, if you catch somebody alone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the fact that it affects towers just makes him such a better pick, too.
Yeah, and speaking of towers right now, skill difference does not have a single one in their favor as of yet. Quantic right now has 2. They have both of the towers top, which means that top Rax is going to be exposed the next time they try to push that or leave it alone, which I don't think that skill difference is going to do, but it's already taken a little bit of a beating at about 60% life.
Yep. And we got a hood on Beastmaster already, so he's finally tanked up, especially for this all-magic lineup.
Yeah, this is really all they have to do. I mean, honestly, skill difference's lineup is really based on getting those early kills. And now, speaking of, we're going to see Beastmaster get caught here in the bottom. The Thunderclap lands. He's going to be able to TP out, though. They don't have his stun. He's not even going to Ravage. Doesn't even want the kill, I guess. But in the meantime, over here, we also have Leshrac TPing out from the Shadow Demon and Queen of Pain. I'm assuming that the disruption came off too early and did not get saved to interrupt that TP. As we can see, it is on cooldown right here.
Yeah, and they had to put 5 heroes bottom to get nothing out of it. And just a lot of wasted time there.
I mean, I'm just a little bit confused as to why you wouldn't Ravage there. I mean, you know you're behind already.
Yeah.
It's better to just get the kill, I think. But
exactly, and there's been not one Ravage, not one Panda ulti. I mean, they haven't really used their aggressive ultis yet.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're waiting for either. It seems like Tide is just content to run around and farm. Not necessarily sure if this is
not even farm, just run around, yeah.
Well, we are going to see 2 people from skill difference sitting in their own woods. They might get caught out here, though. Korok is sitting right on top of FORL and Sexy. He's going to try to cloud on top of this. The net creep's coming around from the side. There's the net and the cloud simultaneously. Sexy trying to run away, going to try to juke to the side, but does not quite make it out. Now FORL cannot help his teammate. We saw a TP in from Brewmaster, but unfortunately it was a bit late. Tide, unfortunately, not making it to the fight either. So, yeah, that's just another kill. And now bottom lane, Zeb's going to be forced to TP out on Crystal Maiden against Mikey. Oh, gets shackled in place, actually. Now there's going to be backup coming in the form of a Riki. He is making his way down here. Freeze has already used those, so Korok is going to be here. Perfect timing to go ahead and pick up this kill. 1 auto attack and a Blink Strike should go ahead and seal the deal. And that is going to be all it takes. This game is not looking too good for skill difference, man.
Especially Korok gets this... Oh, misses the last hit. Probably getting flamed by Mikey right now because he's a dumpster.
Shout out to Mikey, who also does pick up his drums, by the way. Drums first on Windrunner. Definitely something we don't always see, especially as a support. You typically see like the Mana Boot 4-stack or something like that. And meantime, mid 2, Last Hit Magic's going to get dropped here by Tide and Sexy. Now Pain of Gold also on the run. Nice shackle though between the Queen of Pain and the Tide Hunter. Mikey, no mana left though. Foul still taking a lot of damage, and a nice reverse stun by Pain of Gold, killing Sexy. Now he's going to chase Misha off to the side, who still does have his ultimate. Pain of Gold does not have any mana, though, only enough to Edict. Now he's going to be forced to run out. Panda's still pursuing. And I believe that he's going to go down here, actually. In the meantime, we also have a kill. Riki taking out Queen of Pain, now diving onto Dilated Mind. Gets Nova, though. They do have Vision. Korok has Blink Strike in another 5 seconds, but he's going to choose not to chase. And somehow Leshrac did not die to that Panda ultimate. I guess it's only level 1. So really not that scary. But Korok is looking for a kill here. He's going in from behind. Pops the health potion. Where's the smoke? The stun is way off. And the smoke is as well, but it doesn't matter. Misha's going to drop anyway. The disruption coming out from Sexy onto Korok. Long range impetus and the urn should be enough to kill, but last hit magic does get the Nature's Attendants off. Not enough to save him, though. Tower hit will give Tidehunter the kill along with that anchor smash. And we're going to have a pause. So what went from basically 0 action to everybody dying in like 3 minutes, man.
Yep. It just, I don't really know. It just the Ravage only hit 1 person, and then the rest of Quantic came in, and since there was nothing to stop any of them, they all just split up, and only, I think, Mikey died there. Mikey and Last Hit Magic. Twice, actually.
Yeah, Enchantress died at the very beginning of the fight. That's kind of
and at the very end, yeah. But look at this, 9-4. So even though it was a decent fight for them, they still fell way behind there.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit confused. Like you said, it's just they had such a really good team synergy, but Skill Difference has chosen not to fight until they're already at a disadvantage in terms of gold. And yeah, they do have the team to kind of come back from that, but you have to try to fight. And that was the first time we've really seen them make an attempt to defend any towers. And I mean, honestly, they defended the tower. They lost a couple of heroes, but at the very least, they retained their map control.
Oh man, I have a, don't you hate when you get a freaking, it's raining here and I got a cold like 3 days ago? It's been pretty rough.
Yeah, I have allergies too, actually, so I know how you feel.
So why? It's awful.
Yeah. It can definitely be a huge pain, even in the desert, actually. A lot of dust and...
I know, all the freaking, I'm allergic to sand too, yeah. And cactuses.
Cacti?
Yeah. I thought, so you live in Vegas? I thought you were just like, you know,
nah, I pretty much live here now, so...
Yeah, okay, well that's good. Yeah. But middle lane, we're just gonna have... It's going to be 4 sitting on 4 mid. Well, 3 actually.
Oh, nice shackle between Tide and Sexy. Both going to get caught. Here comes a follow-up stun. And the Beastmaster rope, but the Kraken Shell breaks it. Dilated Mind on the run, but Korak from the back manages to pick off Zeb. Now he's going to go for Dilated. No Ravage as of yet. He's not even going to pop it. Disruption a bit too late right there. Not able to save his teammate. And now FRL sitting in the jungle over here, desperately trying not to be found. We see the pings, but he's going to go ahead and blink out. Centaur sees him, though. Still going to pursue through the jungle. Nice micro by last hit magic. Really good reaction time there on that Centaur. Another shackle comes out, not going to be able to link to anything this time, though. And the rest of Quantic is going to go ahead and fall back. So 4-11 at the 17-minute mark. Quantic still very, very far ahead. Last time we checked, it was over 5,000 gold, getting closer to 7,500 and closer to 5,000 experience.
And we're looking at a Roshan kill now.
Yeah. This is, I don't really think that Skill Difference could do anything about this whatsoever. Brewmaster does manage to pick up his Blink, but man, he is so underfarmed. He has nothing except for a Blink Dagger. I mean, a lot of times you'll see like the Phase Boots drum and then into Blink, but no, this Brewmaster is really hurting for gold. He only has a Blink Dagger at the 17-minute mark, which means that he doesn't have the kind of survivability that he needs to be able to force Quantic to focus him first. I mean, he can just die in basically Aurora and a stun at this point, considering the fact that the Riki already does have his Diffusal Blade finished.
And look at the Solera with the pipe already as well. They're just going to push straight through middle. Yeah. No mech yet. That's why I think Mikey should have gone mech over drums first. I don't think it really matters right here, though. I think they just have so much power already.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, he was buying wards, though, too, so that's probably why he went for the drum. It's a little bit cheaper in terms of pieces.
Yeah, the bracer's always
we're going to get Dilated get caught again. Nice stun and shackle, but Kraken once again getting him out. Manages to get the Ravage off. Still very low on HP. Korak going to lose his Aegis, but also Tidehunter will lose his life in the process. Now Painted Gold in a lot of trouble, taking a lot of damage from Sexy, and now Foul forced to blink back with basically no hit points or mana. Power Shot will pick off Sexy, and now huge tower dive going on by the rest of Quantic, and that's a double kill for the Beastmaster. But Tide buys back, goes right back into the fray, gets clouded immediately. Axes come off. Korak is not done here yet, manages to get the Purge, and from the low ground we have Impetus going off from last hit magic. Now Misha looks like he will eventually fall. Beastmaster on essentially no life, getting out of that fight. So Quantic only losing one, which was Korak, who had the Aegis, unable to really do anything, even with a Ravage finally being pretty decent, I would say. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but it's definitely more than we've seen in the earlier parts of the game.
Yeah, this is just one team fight, turn the game around. That first fight middle just turned the whole game around.
I am really honestly shocked. Oh, wave goes off. Emperor really wants Painted Gold. He gets the no health from the Scream, and the chain nukes come out and finish him off anyway. Kill going to go to Beastmaster. Now Zeb is going to be forced to freeze Mikey and retreat, but Korak blinks into the base really aggressively, and the power shot's going to land and pick him off. Korak going to go ahead and just TP onto the base. No tower left. They do successfully push the tier 2 mid and the base tower.
Yeah, it did get denied. Not too big of a difference, but Sexy did deny the tower.
Yeah, I mean, tower is a tower. With the racks exposed, I don't really think they're going to be too concerned about losing, like, what is it, like...
I know. I just didn't want you to look dumb, you know?
Yeah, I understand. I'm glad you have my back.
I know. I think the big thing here is it's been mostly a 4v5 game. Enchantress really hasn't made that big of an impact on this game from what I've seen so far.
Well, I think it's more the fact that the lanes just didn't really work out, I think, how Quantic wanted it to. And it's not to say that they laned it poorly. It's just they were expecting more aggression and just nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, okay, Tide 6... The Queen of Pain's going to get some early levels, and they're just going to try to fight. And they really haven't been doing that. They kind of just been running around trying to kind of play into Quantic style, which is just, we're going to try to split push you down and pick off heroes where we can because we have a Riki who has crazy farm, also has enough of his BKB relatively soon, about 800 away. But yeah, I just think that they totally lost sight of what they were trying to do this game.
Yeah, they just didn't execute. I think they had a good plan. They just, yeah, like you said, they didn't execute.
Oh, we are going to see two from Quantic at least form up bottom, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying the exact same thing. We're going to see Korok and Josh just play really aggressive here and see.
Well, we do see pretty much everybody from skill difference rotating bottom, so maybe they're finally deciding that, hey, we have a pretty good tower defense team. We should probably try to do that at some point, even though that's not really fair. They have tried a couple of times, just not successfully as of yet.
I mean, the big like hero maker here is Tide, and Tide's Ravages just haven't been on point, so it hasn't allowed for all the other heroes to get into position to do what they have to do.
Yeah, I mean, Tide doesn't really have anything to speak of. He's got 1,100 gold. He looks like he's saving up for a Blink Dagger, but in all honesty, I don't even know if that's going to be enough at this point. I don't believe that Skill Difference's composition has the damage output to take out heroes who already have a Bloodstone already. I mean, Leshrac has 1,400 health. The Riki's got 1,000, almost going to have a BKB. Stun from the side coming off from Painted Gold, going to force F4L to blink out here. So Leshrac going to be applying more damage to this tower. Now Misha's going to be making his way over, has phase and his blink up. Maybe they're going to be looking to engage here. But we do have Korok looping around from the back, being relatively sneaky, looking to try to get Zeb. He might even be able to do it. He's really thinking about it.
He wanted to. I know Korok, and I know he would level 5 Crystal Maiden at 22 minutes in. Ouch. Uh-oh, this Queen of Pain is
Oh,
dead.
he wasted his blink. He's going to get clouded in place and diffuse, and Zeb is just not even... Maybe he was looking at the chicken, just didn't even go back to attempt to save his Queen of Pain at all. No freeze or anything. Now Shackle onto Misha in tower range. There's a Gush going to last hit magic. The Ravage will go off, and Brewmaster does get his own ultimate off as well. So now Pianist in a bit of trouble right here. Brewmaster trying to get out, pops the pipe, but Beastmaster will eventually fall. And now Painted Gold almost out of mana here, going to be forced to retreat as well. Looking for one more stun. He does get a rock thrown at him from that Earth aspect, and now Tidehunter also going to drop to Korok, who is in the back, killing the rest of Skill Difference's team by himself pretty much. Misha's ultimate finally wearing off, and now this bottom tier tower looks like it's going to drop here.
That wasn't even really a fight. Korok killed Shadow Demon and Queen of Pain at the tier 3 tower, and I don't know. They were just too separated to do anything, and now Sexy's probably going to die again.
Yeah, Sexy will go down here. Blinking for Misha, gets purged and shackled inside the cloud. That is unfortunate. Here comes the blink wave from F4L. Not managing to get a kill. Juan will save Korok getting out here, and then we see the GGs coming out already. So that is going to be good game. 3 heroes on Quantic living with essentially no health, and Painted Gold gets denied by his own teammate and heals Korok to basically full HP. Mikey with the bad manner deny before the game ends. Well, I guess technically after it ended. But that's going to be it, man. 23 minutes. Quantic takes the game 7-25.
Yeah, I think we expected this. I mean, there's no doubt here.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of favored Quantic a little bit going into this matchup. But props to Skill Difference for playing it out, picking something that maybe they didn't necessarily know what they wanted to do with it, but definitely an interesting lineup and a fun game to cast nonetheless because you were here with me, buddy. So thanks again to GranDGranT.
Oh, I love you too. I love you too.
It's always a pleasure, man. And again, I was casting. My name is Draskyl. If you guys want to follow the channel, feel free to follow me here or at twitch.tv/Draskyl with 2 L's. You can follow me at Twitter at Draskyl as well. I'll be casting many more of these games with GranDGranT, hopefully, if he'll be wanting to join me for the next ones.
I would love to. I would love to join my boy Draskyl. Just, you know, get Dota2, get it some, you know, I'm just excited now, you know. Ready to go.
I'm definitely excited too. But that's going to be it for us today. And we're probably going to see you guys in the next couple of days. The problem is so many people postpone their matches, especially the North American ones, that we never really know when we're going to have games. So that's why they're always kind of impromptu, and I have to kind of struggle to find co-casters. But thankfully, Grant was here to fill in. So thanks again. But we're going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank all of you guys for watching very, very much. And we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Into the FB, and that is a huge hit.
under attack.